concerned about helping serve my needs and answering my question. He was frankly doe-eyed, having again absolutely no idea how to answer my question. However, like I said, blank did want to help me. So he said he would do whatever he could to put me in contact with someone who could answer my question, which invariably led me to you, Mr. Blank. Hence, the conversation we did have last week. As I'm sure you recall, even though my question was clearly stated and put forth in a cohesive manner, you two had absolutely no idea how to answer my question. Matter of fact, fairly quickly, you got to the point of saying you couldn't and wouldn't spend any more time addressing the issue with me, making loose references to wasting your time, and ending the conversation rather abruptly with me, adding the suggestion that I should go through the time and energy to put it all in writing for you. Maybe you were genuine in your suggestion that I do just that. Maybe you weren't because you figured I wouldn't take the time to do it. But either way, since I do remain positive that your suggestion was offered to help me seek resolution. However, I fail to see how you'll have become more enlightened to your own company's lending procedures between talking to me on the phone last week and reading my words in print today. Hopefully, you weren't just giving me a hollow resolution to get me off the phone. I'm sure you weren't, now that I think about it, because here you are reading this, aren't you? So at this point, I've spoken to and written to 4 different representatives at 4 different levels within M&T Bank, and not one single representative on one single level has been able to explain where M&T Bank gets the money they lend. Similarly, nobody has been able to assure me that M&T Bank will be able to validate the accounting for the money they do lend. I've been given the impression that I should just take it on good faith. However, I have been reassured that M&T Bank will not take my creditworthiness, lending viability, or ability to repay on good faith. I'll be required to substantiate my borrowing ability, while M&T Bank will not be required to substantiate their lending ability. That seems rather one-sided to me. Keep in mind that it's my understanding that banking institutions such as M&T Bank can't legally lend the money of their depositors. Along those lines, quote-unquote loan companies who don't provide banking services but only exist to lend don't actually have any money to loan people. So where does the money come from? Why haven't any of the companies who have damaged my credit and my borrowing ability been able to tell me? Why hasn't anyone, including you, Mr. Blank, been able to tell or show me? If M&T Bank doesn't have anything to risk losing, why must I go through an approval process that determines my ability to repay something that you and other banking and lending institutions can't show that I actually owe? I really would appreciate answers to these questions, which I can't imagine would actually be considered a waste of time, as they're at the core of M&T Bank's lending functionality. If you're still unable to provide these types of answers, I really would appreciate you forwarding this inquiry to the individual or individuals that can. Just in case you're too busy to do just that, I've taken the extra time and energy to send a duplicate copy of this communication to Mr. Renee F. Jones, Chief Financial Officer of M&T Bank. This request is being entered without prejudice, reserving all rights in law. Thank you, sincerely, me. There you go. Let me know what you think of that. Sign up, be my friend, rate, comment, whatever you do on YouTube, just do it. Let me know you're live. I sent that with good reason, and I know the answers already, but I want to see how high I have to go to get some honesty in banking, which may be, and most probably is, a fruitless effort because they can't admit the truth. They can't give me the answers. And here are the 2 envelopes going in the mail tomorrow morning to these 2 individuals who I hope to encourage to tell me what I need to know. Anyhow, thanks for watching. By the way, the conversation I had with Blank at my local branch office of M&T Bank, I secretly recorded on my iPhone voice recorder. So look for that to come to YouTube or perhaps the website I'll be starting at we-r-sovereign.com. I'll have it up as soon as possible because it'll take some editing and some formatting to fit into the 10-minute YouTube blocks. But I will have that, and it's pretty revealing. Not because the person at the local branch was like a bad, deceptive guy. He was very open and helpful to me. But his willingness to sit there and listen to the things I had to say was pretty exemplary, and I think that it'll lend a lot of insight into where I'm coming from with all this if you have no idea. Anyway, hopefully I haven't gone over 10 minutes. If I have, you're seeing the second half of this video now. So again, I appreciate it. Rate, star, suggest, comment, be my friend, whatever you want. Talk to you later. Bye.